Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we want to talk about two strategies, and that's both queen charges but with wall breakers and with the siege machine. So you have both queen charge hog riders with the ram or the slammer, and queen charge hog riders with wall breakers and slammer filled with hogs on the back end. The first army we're taking a look at is the Ram army, which is based on the siege machine to make sure that you can enter the base. Why do I do this video? Because we have a lot of changes, or one crucial change, I would say, in the last couple of days, and that was the party wizards. You can see which strategies are super strong normally right now in the Legend League. By the way, this is going to be the second attack or the second army we're taking a look at, and you can copy both. I will show you both, or for both strategies, two attacks, and then you can try to do it on your own. But now, why do I do this video? I want to show you guys why I think what changed in the last couple of days, why we are seeing not that many Queen Charge Hog Riders attacks anymore, and especially in the top rankings, why there are more other strategies right now. So in the first season, we saw a lot of Lalo based strategies like Queen Charge Lalo, Sui Lalo, or even Electron in the top 10, a couple of Packer Smash guys, and really rarely Queen Charge Hog Riders. In the second season, we saw mainly Queen Charge Hog Riders, and if you're asking why did that happen, it's pretty simple, because we had the Party Wizard making the Hog Rider charge even stronger, because you could put in so much time into the Queen Charge that, well, you could basically Queen Charge 50% and more of the base and still be fine on the time, because you had the Party Wizard to clean everything up. But now with the switch back to the normal wizards, the Hog Riders had a huge nerf without actually touching the Hog Riders. The Party Wizards were super important for the cleanup, and you guys will see in my attacks that it was always super close. Just imagine that if I would have had the Party Wizards, everything would have been so easy. I have in this army around 7 wizards, and if those would have been Party Wizards, would have been totally easy. And I can spoil already, in recording this video, I had to do obviously a couple of attacks to get the 3 stars and even maybe a couple of 99% attacks, but as well I had a ton of time fails as well. That was based because I used the normal wizards and we don't have any party wizards anymore. So this is a super important thing. This base is one of my super old bases I used in Legend League in the beginning. And you can triple it basically with the ram charge right into the town hall. That's pretty much the idea. And it doesn't matter what the backend looks like, that's normally the way to go. You want to use the ward ability early when the hogs are spreading, and as soon as they're getting closer together again, like around the Inferno Tower, then you're using the first heal and the second heal around the last Inferno Tower. The Earthquake, well, you don't need the Earthquake on this one, so it's all about trying to damage the high HP buildings. On this one it was the Inferno Tower, a little bit of the Eagle and the Expos as well. This is pretty much how you triple this base with Queen Charge Hog Riders. At the same time, the first attack I want to show you guys for the Queen Charge Hog Riders with the Siege Machine. It's all about the pretty much taking out the enemy queen and a lot of value around it. So for example, this one was the Town Hall. We had the enemy king as well. We lured the CC. We got rid of a couple of expos as well and recreated a nice pathing for our Hog Riders later on. Even though we had 30 seconds over, this was kind of easy base if you know how to do it. So let's take a look at our next base and how we can triple that one, and if it's getting maybe a little bit closer. And you guys should know by now that I'm not only putting in triples, sometimes I'm mixing in a couple of fails, just so you know how well it happens to me as well as for every other person as well. So like I said, this base is kind of old, so the next one is hopefully getting a little bit better. But let's take a look at it right now. So the next base, how that looks like, it's under 3-star base, and I think it's actually one of the qualifier bases which got used in Poland in one of the last couple of weeks. So how do we do this? First off, we use the ram again, and we're using the P.E.K.K.A to funnel one side Meanwhile, the king on the other side. And I have already received a couple of questions like, how do I choose which angle to come from with the queen charge, and where should I funnel with my Pekka, where should I funnel with my king? You always try to use the Pekka where not too much point defenses are, and maybe like not a possible skeleton trap or even the king, because your own king is always way better in there. You always try to choose the side with the less damage and maybe a couple of defense on the outside, so the Pekka gets a little bit of more value. That's how you try to pick the right side with the Pekka and the king. But now, how do you decide from which side you should come in with the queen charge? So it's all about, once again, I put a video out on like the how I draw the things out, like when the different value aspects, and that's basically it, what you should try to do in your head. And I know it's super hard to do actually, like in the beginning, especially in Legend League attacks, because you have only those 30 seconds. But what you try to do is you try to mark those high value buildings, or like things you want to go for. For this one was the eagle, was the queen, and obviously the town is always a high value as well, and the king. And with this angle coming in the middle of all of those things together, well, I got pretty much rid of all of this at the same time. So that's why I came in from the right side, and after that I was taking a look at where my queen would go, using the rage, and then immediately the hog riders to follow up, to not run into any time issues. And here we go with the warden as well. And the reason why I think this strategy is strong, but not maybe the perfect push army for Legend League, is pretty simple, because you try to have a really like the perfect setup for an army, which is a bit tricky because, well, in this army you can sometimes go for the town hall, but at the same time, if you don't go for the, like if you go for the town hall, then you don't need the earthquake. If you don't go for the town hall, you will need the earthquake to activate the town hall most of the times. Otherwise, you will once again run into time issues. So the earthquake spell is like the small issue in that army, in my opinion, because one small spell slot is pretty much one freeze more or one freeze less. So that's why I'm right now thinking that the other army we're taking a look at in a second is a little bit stronger right now, maybe. It's way harder to actually perform, but I think if you guys want to like try it a little bit, then you should be able to deal with it. So this is going to be this attack. We have 20 seconds left, and it's getting super close actually, because I had one loon to clean up and immediately place it into a black mine, which was a little bit unlucky, or I don't know, like I just have luck with it, I don't know. But yeah, the miner's finishing the rest up, and now let's check out the other army. And I will do this in a live attack style, which means I will do the attack during talking to you, and after that we will take a look at a second attack as well. Okay guys, on this one I'm going to do a live attack, which means we will go through the attack during I'm attacking. So let's see what we can do. We have the queen and the king on the town hall side, but we have a single Inferno tower behind that, and we have the CC behind that as well, which means it will be hard to queen charge over there, but we might try anyway. So let's see if we can somehow lure the CC before we are attacking. That would be nice. Okay, that's really nice. That's really nice. Okay, let's check it out. Get everything over here. Poison, let's go. Everything looks good. Electrodragon should be gone in a minute. Like, Electrodragon is super useless as defensive CC, so that's nice that we have this over here. And then I will try to get my king in as well to distract the Inferno tower, because otherwise that Inferno tower will be super annoying. I don't care if my king dies like immediately. We just have to watch out for the single. Could have frozen the town as well, but hey. Okay, so what is next? Let's test over here. Okay, queen is going back. This isn't too bad either. Then we can charge in over here, and we try to get somehow near the eagle, and then we can start with our hog riders from either the right or the left side. Let's see how this goes. We still have one rage left to get through the next layer. So let's do it like this. Okay, next layer is open. This is going to be tricky if they make... I don't think they make it. Okay. We're still fine. Where should we start? I think we should start with our Hog Riders on the right side to like make sure that our queen is actually going inside. You clean up wizards. Everything is looking good. Queen isn't going through the it's a decent wall, I guess. Then we can come in with a slammer from the right side to make sure that all of our Hog Riders are more grouped up. Our queen is dealing with the eagle. The eagle shot a couple of more times, so we have to use our warden ability. Okay. We will just let the middle group die because that's the smaller group anyway. Then we use the heal spell. Okay, anything more? Nope. Okay, we have to pretty much save our loons, otherwise we will have time issues anyway. And this means we have to save them to make sure to drop them inside the base. One here and one here. No, the black mine. Okay, but my queen was able to reach it. This is going to be super close, but I think we have it. I think this should be enough. 99, yep, that's it. Nice. And we got the triple. And that's how you adapt on the fly with the Queen Charge Warbreakers. In my opinion, it's a super flexible strategy. Like, you have so many options in going in, and you're not relying too much on a siege machine. So I think it might be my more favorite strategy when it comes down to Queen Charge Hog Riders. But at the same time, it's the way more difficult strategy. So let's see if we can get one more triple. Let's check it out. We have this super annoying base. I think most of you already know this base because it's kind of common up there in Legend League. And at the same time, it's actually not too easy to attack because, well, it's like a super annoying setup. But I will teach you how you guys can do it with the Queen Charge Hog Riders. And this entry pretty much works with the siege machine as well. So let's take a look. The first thing what we try to do is we immediately try to go into the town hall. First off, place your queen and then one Kokoloon. Don't drop the healers immediately because sometimes we all know black mines. Black mines are sometimes super stupid. So that's why you try to delay the healers until that point where your queen is actually going into danger zone. So that's why you're waiting for it, then the rage, and then basically try to take out the enemy king. On this one, I was like all or nothing because I'm not really pushing right now. So it's the only way when I'm doing my legend attacks is for a video. So I was like, okay, let's just wait. We're fine with that. And not use the queen ability because if we're using the queen ability, we have no chance to triple. So that's why I did not use my queen ability there. Now the poison and everything is looking good so far. We got rid of the town hall. All of the loons were nicely placed for triggering any traps like black mines, the tornado trap, etc. And then we flanked the queen pretty much with our final troops like the P.E.K.K.A. and the king. And what this does pretty much is that we're tanking for the queen as well. This means only 2 expos are on our queen, which isn't too bad. It's kind of tricky still, but like it could be worse. So the queen is doing her thing and she's going from the, like, she's pretty much following the way of this arrow shape thing, which means she's going for the lower expo, then for the upper, and then for the double cannon. That's how you do this right there. I froze the warden. I think I should have just waited maybe. And now I need to immediately start with my Hog Riders because otherwise my queen will die. There's too much damage, so I have to immediately start with my Hog Riders because I'm relying on my queen to take out the multi-inferno towers, both of them, which is super nice. And, well, we still have the stamina left to take down any other part of the base. Since there are no black mines whatsoever, like no air defense on the right side, we can use the stamina for this. And we still have so many spells left to actually take out the rest of this base. Queen will die eventually, but we have a lot of wizards as well. And one thing, what is our Slammer doing as well? He's opening up everything for our cleanup troops. So even though there might be buildings inside of the base, we still have access to that, which is really nice. Then the last CS spell, just to make sure that we're not losing any more Hog Riders. And that's basically it to completely wreck this base. And yeah, like I said, this right now is one of, in my opinion, the strongest options if you're doing Queen Charge Hog Riders, but it's super hard to do. And if you fail only your Warbreakers once, you're pretty much screwed. So it's not too easy. It's a really hard strategy to perform, but if you can do it, then it's super strong. So that was it for this video, basically. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys try this strategy for yourself in Legend League, in War, it doesn't matter. And I will see you guys in the next video.